Morning. Today we're doing a bit of landscape photography, specifically looking for some autumn colours. Gorgeous area. Gleneath again, so it's near the waterfalls where we were before. So there are waterfalls on this walk, different waterfalls. But hopefully, I've left it a couple of weeks now, I should get some really nice autumn colour. So looking forward to capture. It's not the best day, it's very overcast. There was promised a really nice bright day today, but never mind. But yeah, you probably hear in the background, you've got the waterfalls down there below us and plenty of opportunities hopefully to get some autumn colours. So while Callie plays with this random dog that's just appeared round by us, I'll talk you through a shot that I found on the way down to the waterfall. I'll have to put the name of this waterfall down at the bottom because I did know it, but I've gone about 10 foot and forgotten it. So in between the trees on the way down to the waterfall, I found there's not really much autumn colour here, but I found a lovely branch that sort of sticks across the waterfall. And there's a bit of autumn colour on it, so I'm just shooting through the trees on the tripod. Today I'm using the Fujifilm X-Pro2. The reason being is I ordered a wireless trigger for the X-T2, but it doesn't fit it. But it works on the X-Pro2, weirdly enough, so we're using the X-Pro2 today, which I've not used as a landscape camera before because it hasn't got the tilty screen, but it's the same camera. So yeah, just looking through the trees there, and my foreground is I've actually focused in. I'm at about F18, and I'm focusing on that wood just sticking out there on a slow shutter. So we're getting 2/5 of a second with a polarizer, ISO 200. So give us a nice slow image. Fingers crossed. Let me know what you think. Oh, I don't know what's going on this year with autumn. So I was here a couple of weeks ago, and it didn't seem that autumn had kicked in quite. So I've given it a couple of weeks, come back, and it seems that autumn has completely just been and gone overnight and skipped. It's crazy. There is quite a lot of autumn colour around, but there's no leaves on the trees at all, hardly. Well, very little. So I'm really quite surprised. So I think the colour I'm going to get from these shots today is probably going to be on the floor. There's a mixture though of green and red, so it's almost like autumn isn't quite here, but it's not coming either. It's just going to skip it. Crazy. I've set my shot up. I'm going to have a go at a selfie shot using, if you can hear me, I hope this mic's picking up okay. Using a wireless trigger, I'm going to stand on the rock in the foreground and have the waterfall in the background, and hopefully not fall in and die because I ran over there quickly and it's lethal. But I figured if I put the camera on the tripod in the like where I am now, run over on that rock and have that slowish shutter in the background. So go for about 1/10 of a second to get a bit of movement in the water, but enough to keep me sharp. So I'll take a few using a wireless remote and see how it comes out. What a random day today's turning out to be. I mean, that dog keeps turning up out of the blue. And I was waiting patiently for a photographer to take his photograph by the waterfall. And no rush, you know, take your time. And then, who joins me but about 500 million kamikaze lemmings trying to jump into the water. Look, great fun, but I was there for absolutely ages waiting to take a photograph there. Of course, they were in the shot pretty much. So yeah, I'm not sure how that came out. It was kind of a run, grab the shot and come away. And plus, the wind picked up quite badly. So the mist coming off the water presented a massive problem as well. So I didn't really have time to do much. Set the camera up, stick it on a tripod and get a quick snap. I've had a scout round and I'm not sure whether or not it's worth actually going down to the water, to the bottom of the base of the waterfall, or just concentrating on a small sort of section. Getting down is pretty lethal. Getting back up again is worse. So I don't know. Still a lot of people around, so I'm gonna have to see if we can wait a little while, get people out of shot, and you see people everywhere like mental. So we'll see what happens. Right, so I've had a wander around for half an hour, and the lemmings seem to like almost jumped off the end of the waterfall now. So it's pretty much me and a few other people wandering around now. Not so bad anymore. So what I've decided to do is I will get a nice wide shot of the whole waterfall because it's gorgeous, it looks amazing, but I'll also put on the big zoom lens then and try and pick out a section, hopefully something with a bit of autumn colour in it, because it's remarkably green and then everything that's autumn is just on the floor, so it's crazy. But let's see how we get on. Okay, so this isn't ideal. It's a lovely waterfall, but there's literally no colour in the trees. Well, there's no leaves on a lot of them. So there's very little colour left on the trees. There's obviously a lot of golden brown leaves in the foreground. So I've had to try and include that just on the edge of the rocks there. Yeah, I mean it's nice. It's not what I think the close-up shot is going to be the nicer shot. But again, it's looking for that autumnal colour amongst the waterfalls as well. So we've got the Xf10-24, ISO 200, f14, 2.5 seconds just to get nice movement in the water. I've actually got the polarizer and an ND8 on here just to give plenty of movement in the water. Yeah, let's have a look. So as I mentioned before as well, this is the wireless trigger, and so this basically does exactly what it says in the tin, I guess. But it now should just be in the picture if you want to as well. I didn't really show you what I was using before, but I've only just got it, and I ordered it for the Fujifilm X-T2, and unfortunately they sent the wrong adapter to fit on the side of the camera, so I'm using the X-Pro2 today, which is a bit weird for landscape. You can't tilt the screen and stuff like that, but it's still it's not really bothered me at all, to be honest. I've really quite enjoyed using the camera. Let's have a look at that. I keep going to use the shutter button, but yeah, 2.5 seconds. Let's see what comes up. Okay, so now I'm just spending a bit of time while I'm waiting for the people to finish jumping off the edge of the cliff, and I'm just picking out bits of the waterfall, just looking for areas of leaves and obviously a bit of motion, just pick out the water movement and hopefully pick out a couple of autumnal colours in the leaves. And I'm basically using the 70-200 lens equivalent, which is on the Fujifilm is a 50-140 2.8, and again with the ND8. I'm only at f10 now though, so just with a 1 second exposure ISO 200, just to make sure it doesn't really need any depth of field, just to make sure we get the motion of the water. Well, this isn't going too well. There doesn't seem to be any colour on anything I want to photograph. So we're just heading to the bottom of that big waterfall now, as you probably still hear. And the amount of water flow today is absolutely incredible. Oh. And this is a particularly treacherous route, So walking boots are an amazing idea, not wellies, unlike what I've got on. Hopefully, this is one of the main shots I wanted to take today, so hopefully we'll get a nice, there's awful lot of spray coming off it though, so absolutely incredible around here. Look at this dog. Kelly! Oh. Right then. Yeah, so we're at the bottom of the waterfall. Just got to scout out a quick location that's safe. It's very green down here, so that might be an interesting foreground. There's a tiny bit of, see that tiny bit of colour on that side there. So hopefully I can find something that leads up to that. That'll be a good subject. But yeah, let's try and get across these rocks first. It's blooming lethal. Made it. The dog was really not happy about it, but we actually got here, and it's really, really nice. I mean, we've got a mixture of colour, so we've got loads of green in the foreground. It's probably a bit too fussy, so you're gonna have to look for an area that's a bit more simplified. But it's really, really nice. It was a bit of a to get to, but oh, very much worth it. So looking for a foreground now with a bit of autumnal colour, and we'll get the tripod set up. So just having a wander around near the edge of the water, see what we can find. Okay, I'm at the bottom of the waterfall now, and I met another photographer down here, Kevin from KD Photography, really nice chap. So I was just waiting for the chap to take his picture, and it's been nice because I've had no rush. I've just been able to sort of sit and think about what I wanted in the foreground, and I've actually found a leaf on a rock in the foreground just here, and the rock, it's on a nice bright green rock, really, really nice colours, and it leads up lovely to the tree to the right of the waterfall, which has got the bright colours on it. So I've taken an exposure. I'm an ISO 200 with the wide angle lens, so the Xf10-24. So at 5 seconds, f14 ISO 200, and just use the wireless trigger just to take a long exposure. Obviously got the polarizer on to cut through the reflections in the water, and still got the ND8 on there as well to give plenty of movement, but it's actually come out really, really nice. So look at that. Yeah, nice. I think I need to move it over a little bit so I get a bit more of that tree in the background. There we go. So almost the rule of thirds, having that leaf as my vertical right third as you will. Just make sure it's level. Alright, refocus on that leaf, and here we go. That has got to be one of my favourite places in South Wales. Unbelievable. I mean, we're so lucky to have waterfalls, mountains, beaches, incredible walks, incredible views all around the country, north and south. But I mean, to have this half an hour from your doorstep, unbelievable. So I'm not sure how today went. I really enjoyed it. Beautiful walk. Met some fantastic people. Rivers are amazing. The waterfalls are incredible. But I'm quite disappointed that I actually feel like I've missed autumn, and it's my favourite, well, as a photographer, most photographers' favourite time of the year. So, but it's still been good. Still, hopefully, but you'll know by now whether or not the images have come out any good, if they're nice. Still enjoy taking them. Nice to be in one or two as well. I've never done that before. Hopefully they came out okay. That'd be quite cool if they did. If you can see in the background. Oh, they've just gone now. People are amazing. They're so funny, and they see me walking back after a day's walking around all these waterfalls, and I'm caked in mud. And then you got these people that turn up in their Sunday best, going down there in their white boots and the white jeans and all that. It's absolutely hilarious. So yeah, if you do come down by these waterfalls or go, in fact, doing any sort of outdoor, I mean, I'm in wellies and I feel lethal in that because there's no support in your ankles. It's so important that people wear proper shoes, and even kids, you've got kids running around there in flip-flops. It's just lethal, crazy. So yeah, make sure you wear the right footwear. Be safe. Well, that's it. We wanted a day of landscape photography. We got a day full of landscape photography. Didn't fall in, was close. But yeah, so fantastic. Thank you so much for watching the video, really appreciate it. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, that would be amazing. And drop a comment, it'd be great to hear from you. Thanks again.